Please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
What's going on, everybody? We got some highlighter sweatshirts on this morning. Hope everybody's had a nice little Tuesday. I'm down as bad as it gets right now. 3+ hours of shoveling. I'm broken. I'm a broken man. Shout out to my friends in Massachusetts, my family. They got 36+ inches of snow. That's crazy. That's so much snow. So God bless everybody on the East Coast just trying to get outside today. I've heard lots of people yelling this morning. Vibes are high. We got a fun one today. I think this is going to be more a speculative one, if you will, because we're going to talk about last night's games. But there's only 3 of them, and honestly, there's only one I want to talk about. And then we will look at tonight because we get some Dawg Bowl hunting. We got 11 games to get through. I think it'll be more. We'll just kind of take a look. First and foremost, though, shout out our guy Tyler, who took down the 7K last night on Underdog. We got a little bagel with Lock shout out, even though he kind of sideswiped me as he gave us a shout out. But congrats to him on the 7K up top. That was super exciting. He had a good W last night. Let me see what the I know I'm not sharing screen, but we can't share screen though. Yeah, T Gross. Let's go. Let's see what T Gross had up in here. Last night took down the 7K. He had Wemby, Jalen Duren, Steph Castle. Man, Wemby was 65 fantasy points, bro, and he looked like he was going to have a bad night. It was nuts. Then he had Jabari Smith Jr. was unconscious last night. Tyrese, and then DeMar DeRozan somehow got the 40 fantasy points, but there he is right there. Look at Tyler with the W. Incredible tweet from Tyler too. This is how you make fun of somebody, by the way. This is what we call backhanded compliments. Not enough people are doing it. I'll share this. Ready? Here we go. Let's go look at Tyler. He says, let's fucking go. For the first time ever in any sport. Shout out to the Badge Bros and Mike Scarin for their helpful content, being apparently one of the longest tenured Badge Bro subs, as well as one of the only Bagel with readers to consistently drop a heart. It's finally paid off. That's what we're talking about. Congrats on the 7K, man. That's huge. Now run it back tonight. Go get yourself a Dawg Bowl seat. There's 2 Dawg Bowl qualifiers left, right? We got tonight, we got Thursday, and that's all she wrote. NBA Bit Monday through Friday this week. We'll have Live Before Lock on Friday. I'm trying to rally the troops here with the 89 Cavs. We gotta find a night that works. Everybody's so busy. But we'll try to get that back on the calendar this week. And I think that's it for business. We got a new Splash Sports contest. Oh, you know what? I'll show you guys real quick. Splash Sports, I think I talked about this. They did a Survivor contest, right? It was $25 to entry, and it's $100K to first. All right? This started on Saturday night. So we've had the Saturday slate, the Sunday slate, and the Monday slate, okay? The way that it works is you have to pick one player. You can only use them once to score 20 points. Score 20 points, you move on to the next day. It started with 4,000 people. Look at what it's left. This is after 3 nights. It is down to 649 entrants. 649 from 4K. I'm down to my last one. It is down. So last night we used Maxey on night 1, Luka night 2, Wemby last night, but Cade, Şengün, and Cade Cunningham, because we didn't have a lot of options last night with only 3 games, all did not get to 20. And so all of a sudden, we are down to 600 people, 100K up top. I think I'm going Spite and Mitchell tonight. But anyways, enough of that. No, I knew. It sounded so funny. I just love it. Let's talk about that Detroit game first, huh? I really do think that's going to be the only one I'm talking about. I don't really care about the rest of these games, if I'm being honest. Pistons won this one 114, 103? And I think last night we saw the blueprint. Like, if you have concerns about Detroit basketball, if you have concerns about them making a finals run, it's games like this. And whatever, variance, whatever. But this is, sometimes it's important to bet on yourself, and the Pistons are wishing they bet on Malik Beasley because they are missing him, man. They are missing the bees knees. Because look at this, and this is 114-103 loss. Now, great, they didn't get cooked. This was a close game throughout. In the fourth quarter, Spurs put it to them a little bit. You can see they held them to 20 points in the third quarter. But look at this three-point percentage, man, 7 for 36. You had Duncan Robinson go 3 for 11. You had Cade Cunningham go 2 for 9. Ronnie Holland 1 for 6. Karras 1 for 3. Javonte Green 0 for 3. I mean, Kevin Huerter can't even get in the game anymore. And that, to me, is the biggest difference, I think. If you are concerned about a Pistons deep playoff run, if you're going up against Boston or New York or Cleveland in the second round, and defensively they're just like, you know what? Shoot the three, baby. We're going to go under on every single screen. We saw Cade go 3 for 11. Every time you're going to bring up the screener, we're going to go behind it. We're going to let you step in at the three. Cade, if you can show us that you can continuously knock down the three-point shot, then okay, we'll adjust. But until then, that's it. We're going underneath. And I think that is going to be the blueprint that you're going to see some of these Eastern Conference teams take in their playoff run. Now, Grant, Detroit has been awesome. They've been the best team in the league basically for the whole season. They don't lose 2 games in a row. This is a really tough matchup against San Antonio. I think the Spurs are a legit contender, and maybe we shouldn't be focusing on Detroit's loss, and we should focus on the Spurs win. But I think these are 2 teams that can make the finals, and I think we saw one of the flaws in Detroit last night that they're going to have to clean up if they're going to take a real shot at the East here. And now San Antonio, man, like I think their biggest knock on the Spurs right now is they're too young. They've got some OKC Thunder from a couple years in them, right? But this is now the Spurs' 9th win in a row. This is like a gritty win, too. They didn't have to put up 135. This wasn't like they showed that they could play defense and score on a tough defensive team. And they had a little bit of everything. Devin Vassell was a difference maker in this game. I mean, my God, 7 for 11, always open, knocking down threes in this one. And he was hot early. I think he had 4 in like the first 9 minutes of the game. Hit a couple big ones late too. Did a little bit of everything. 28 points, 4 dimes, 2 boards. And then Wemby, man, I watched this whole game. And because I had a lot of Wembenyama. I ran hot with the 101 last night on Underdog. And Wemby had like this really quiet first quarter. He was my pick to score 20 points. I was nervous he wasn't even going to get there in the Splash Sports thing. He was sitting at 14 for what felt like hours. And he there were times too where Detroit pushed him around a little bit. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe this is a blueprint to not chopping down the alien tree. And Wemby is just inevitable, man. Didn't have a good shooting night, 6 for 16, knocked down 2 threes. One of my favorite threes of the night here in this game is Cade. So Wemby's coming off, I think he's coming around a screen, and Cade Cunningham just like puts a shoulder in him, knocks him down on the ground, and I think they call a foul. And then the next play, Wemby like comes around the corner, gets the ball, step back, knocks down the 3, and I was like, that's how you answer getting dinged up a little bit. But yeah, I'm believing in the Spurs, man. I'm believing in the Spurs because I just think they've got different ways they can play. They've got Castle. I saw an insane Castle stat. I should have bookmarked it. I don't know if I saved it, but it basically was Castle against like main defenders. Damn it, I don't have it. But they were against like MVP style guys, like whether he was covering Cade, whether he was covering SGA, just how he has slowed people down. But they have perimeter defense. They've got an Ox in the back in Wemby. They have Fox, who that's the other thing. I don't even think we're seeing good De'Aaron Fox here. Like last night, 33 minutes, 4 for 17 from the field, 10, 7, and 7. It's just at any different night, somebody else can step up the bros are carrying the chat. As Jake pointed out, 5 for 8 from 3 from Julian Champagny, right? 17 and 6. They got different ways to beat you there. And they've got a clear rotation, right? They've got this 5 of Champagny, Wemby, Fox, Vassell, Castle, and then you have Keldon. You've got these hands, Harrison Barnes, and then Dylan Harper coming off the bench. And even Luke Cornett is the backup big who got dinged up and then returned. But I always think of things through playoff best ball when we start getting close to this part of the season. And I think it's just a foregone conclusion from a lot of people where it's like, well, the Thunder are the favorites, and then, of course, Denver with Jokic. And that's probably right. We probably have to see San Antonio get their playoff sea legs beneath them, right? They have to have a run. You get beaten up a little bit. You get knocked out. You figure out what you need to address, and then you come back here the next season, right? Just like they did, right? With the Thunder, they get beat by the Mavericks in the second round. All of a sudden, Josh Giddey's on the Bulls. They get Caruso. They sign Hartenstein, and now they're NBA champion. Maybe that needs to happen now, where they see what they've got. But I don't know. I think I'm buying it. They're not scared of the Thunder, right? What are they, 3-1 against OKC this season? I think Denver would be a tough matchup for them, but Minnesota could push them around a little bit. But we also just saw Minnesota get their dicks kicked by the 76ers this weekend. So I don't know. I feel like they could hang. And as we look at the standings too, imagine the Spurs with Kahn over Harper. Although DJP in the street saying I'm still taking Harper over Kahn. I mean, both have been. What an awesome rookie class. Let's just go to the standings here for a second. As the Spurs here, just 2.5 games back behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. And OKC, a little bit of a tough stretch here. We know SGA's missing the next 2 games. The Thunder play tonight against Toronto. They're going to be pretty shorthanded. And then they turn around and play the Pistons, I think, the very next night, right? So the Spurs legit could be sitting here looking at a shot at the 1 seed. And if they do get the 1 seed and they're somehow able to avoid both OKC and Denver until they get to the conference finals. Think about how much of a push that would be. Where, the two toughest teams in the West, you only have to play one of them if they finish 2-3, right? And we look at the, I know I did this yesterday, but this strength of schedule shit, right? OKC, the second hardest schedule the rest of the way. They've got 2 against Detroit, 2 against the Celtics, 2 against the Knicks, 3 against Denver, 2 against the Lakers, and 1 against the Timberwolves. San Antonio, on the other hand, right down the middle, the 15th easiest schedule the rest of the way. 1 against the Pistons, 1 against the Celtics, 3 against Denver, 1 against the Rockets, 1 against the Raps. But then they also have a game against the Kings, a game against the Pacers, the Nets, the Mavs, the Grizz, and the Bulls. So, I think there's a real shot. There's a real shot of San Antonio getting to the 1 seed. And, man, if you get to kind of take the Spurs, and I know Denver's currently the 4 seed, but I don't trust anything we're seeing with Houston right now. I just think that's pretty spicy, man. I think that's pretty spicy. It's got me excited about the Spurs. On the other hand, they've got a couple of tough games. Listen, dude, they have they've got I'm not worried about Detroit. Okay, Detroit's fine. I'm not worried about the West. No, I'm not worried about Detroit. They still got a 5-game lead over the Celtics. They got a couple of tough games coming over. I'm telling you right now, right? They've got, because what did I said they have OKC in a night or two, or tomorrow night, and then they've got there's one other team that they're playing that's really challenging. I don't know if it's Denver. I forget who they're playing. I'm sure Matty Harrison in the chat knows. But they're going to lose a couple of these games here, probably. Maybe they bounce back, but just say they lose a couple of games. Just get ready. Stephen A. Smith, whoever else they're going to bring on to ESPN. I'm worried about the Pistons. I'm worried. Cade, I'm going to need you to step up, Cade. You're going to be an MVP candidate, Cade. I'm going to need you to step up. We're going to see a lot of that bullshit. I'm not worried about it. The Pistons have been beating good teams all year. They haven't lost more than 2 games in a row all season long. I'm not too worried about it. And they've got a nice little 5-game cushion. This is what happens when you beat a bunch of games. I am a little bit nervous about the 3-point shooting when we get into a 7-game series, but I think they're going to be favorites the whole way out. So, quick look at the standings, though. You got Celtics and Knicks. None of these teams played, so there's no movement here outside of Detroit losing a game. Everybody else was in the West. I mentioned the Spurs. Houston technically in the 3 seed. We got a 2-way tie with the Rockets and the Nugs. Then we have a 2-way tie with the Lakers and the Timberwolves. Just quickly last night, Grizzlies finally got a W. Light the beam. We're back. Light the beam. They finally got a win after dropping 16 in a row. They beat the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't know. Precious Achiuwa went nuts in this game. He had 22 points and 12 boards. Maxime Renaud had 10 points and 13 boards. Russ had 25 and 7. We saw Russ play 33 minutes. Hey, man. Good luck figuring out what the fuck Doug Christie's doing. Okay? I don't know. I've tried to figure it out. I thought I had it pegged. Russ hadn't been playing more than like 25 minutes. Sure, he plays 33. DDR plays 29. Daquan plowed and barely knew him, played 26. He had 19 and 5. And then shout out Nate Clifford, man. Look at those 6 steals, baby. He had 12, 6, 5, and 6. Good win for them. And then the Rockets finally get a W. Lauri Markkanen, here's something to note. Lauri Markkanen played 30 minutes last night. So 32 minutes, excuse me. And I don't know if he was just cooking. He was not cooking from 3. 1 for 10 as Dawg do. He had 29 points. Kyle Filipowski was going nuts in 24 minutes. He had 13, but he had 5 steals and a block. Had a ton of turnovers too. Vince Williams Jr., it looks like he tore his ACL in this game, which kind of sucks. But Houston, on the other hand, Amin Thompson, nobody reported this, but he looked like he got hurt at the beginning of the fourth quarter, asked to come out. I don't know if he's going to miss a ton of time. I don't know if it was just, hey, we're up 20. We don't need to bring him back in. But he had 20 and 7 in this one. Jabari Smith Jr., though, I mentioned him. 6 for 11 from 3. He had 31 and 9, had 6 stocks. Just crazy business. So that was last night's stuff. We are going to spend most of the show here. We're only 16 minutes in. We got to get ready for tonight, okay? We only have 2 Dawg Bowl qualifiers left on the Underdog app. So what I figured we could do, whether you were in the underdog streets or in the gambling streets or whatever streets you be living in, we could look at the schedule for tonight, try to get a handle on this 11-game slate. Maybe we'll do a draft or 2 while we're here. But we get some question marks. There's some nasty-ass games tonight that I'm not excited to talk about. But we got a couple of fun ones, too. So without further ado, let's look at tonight's stuff. We'll go game by game, and then maybe we'll build some ranks on Underdog after that, and then go from there. How's that sound? I'm gonna cough. Let's because we're about to talk about some sportsy stuff. Let's do this little video break here. None of this is financial advice. Do what you love what you do, something like that, right? What a vibe. All right. We got 11 games, baby, and we start with the 76ers and the Indiana Pacers. Pacers are 9.5-point dogs at home. Embiid's missed the last handful of games. He has been day-to-day. Now, the Sixers are playing the Pacers. The Pacers are trying to lose. They're shorthanded. Everything on paper makes sense to say Joel Embiid is not going to play basketball tonight, right? Right. But because it's the 76ers and there's no rhyme or reason for anything, maybe he plays. I would bet that Joel Embiid is not going to play basketball. He's officially listed as questionable. He's currently going at the end of the second, beginning of the third round on the Dawg app. I think Embiid's going to sit. If Embiid sits, obviously Maxi's a good play, whether Embiid plays or not, especially with the Pacers being limited. Maxi should be able to do whatever the hell he wants offensively. On the 76ers side, whenever we see Embiid miss, wow, I just saw a lot of snow. So you guys don't, the Amtrak bridge is not too far from our apartment, and just a ton of snow fell from that. And people are yelling outside, which is fun. Nobody got hurt, just yelling. But anyways, when Embiid misses, that usually means Drummond or Bona gets a start. They've been going to Drummond. Not interested in either of Drummond or Big Bona. However, Oubre and VJ become a little bit interesting late in drafts. On the Pacers side of stuff, so we got Spicy P played, and then he played one game, and they were like, okay, that's enough. So Siakam is doubtful for tonight. Nembhard is questionable. Micah Potter is probable. Cam Jones and TJ McConnell are both questionable. The Firth, Toppin, Neesmith, and Zubats are all out. I would guess Nembhard sits in this one. Even if he plays, I'm not really interested in it. I'm not. I do like Jarris Walker, though. Walker's minutes have been, steady with or without Siakam. Last 4 games here, 32, 30, 30, 35. And so I like this matchup against the Sixers, especially if there's no Embiid. It's just one less big body he's got to run through. I think that's it for me, though. I know, Nembhard might be interesting. The most minutes he played 36 a couple games ago against the Knicks, played 30 in the last game against Dallas. I just don't trust it. Jay Huff, I would like to get involved in, but I'm not going to do it. I'd like Jarris Walker even more. Maybe some of these other peripheral plays if all of those Q tags get ruled out, but I don't think we see that. The Pacers seem to be pretty generous with their questionable tags, and then they end up playing anyway. So, okay, listen. Lord, I saw this is Jalen Johnson this morning when he woke up. Lord, and I think he's talking either to God or the musician. I saw what you did with LaMelo. Please, for me now. LaMelo, right, just dropped 60 fantasy points, knocked down 10 triples against this Washington defense. Jalen Johnson, should be your time to shine. You can make a case that JJ is the best play on the slate. JJ, Frankie, JJ, shout out Shorzy. The Atlanta Hawks, one interesting thing they did in their most recent game is Zachary Rissache went to the bench and they put old man McCollum into the starting five. So they went Onyeka, McCollum, JJ, Dyson, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Rissache played like 20 minutes. We saw Jacques Landale. His minutes went down a little bit with Onyeka staying out of foul trouble. There's too many games tonight, and this should get out of hand. So I like JJ. You could make a case for Onyeka in the 6th round. I think Nickeil Alexander-Walker and CJ are fine. Dyson too, but those are just backup options for me. Maybe some swaps late. Not interested. They're fully healthy. No, thank you. The Washington side of stuff is dog shit, man. Trying to figure out the Wizards is like trying to figure out, I don't know. I don't have a good analogy, right? So right now, Tristan Vukovic is questionable. So is Justin Champagnie. They've ruled out Cam Whitmore, D'Lo, Alex Sarr, and Trae Young. Obviously, Anthony Davis as well. So, Keyshawn George in the same spot. He started. He played 18 minutes. Bilal Coulibaly played 17 minutes. Bub Carrington played 30. So, Bub played 30. Anthony Gild played 30. Alondas Williams played 34. Will Riley played 30. Jaden Hardy played 20. There's nothing we can do here. Like, wow, you can't figure any of this out. And everybody's like, oh, the Jazz are the worst. Yusuf Nurkic had nose surgery. He's out for the season. Everybody makes their fucking jokes, and they tweet out how the Jazz are ruining basketball. Yet no one's paying attention to the fact that the Wizards are running out ChatGPT names for 30 minutes while they're actual young guys, right? The Kings are at least saying we're focusing on our young talent. Keyshawn George is in year 2. Trey Johnson a freaking rookie, and they're not playing any of those guys over than 25 minutes. It's just nuts. I think like if you're on So Rare, I'm more interested in Alondas Williams. I'm more interested in like Will Riley. You can't play Keyshawn, although unless all of a sudden they decide we're going to play these guys, but you can't. You can't. And it's frustrating. This would be a fun spot. Like Keyshawn George should be going nuts right now. Maybe this is just my best ball bags yelling, but anyways, let's go to the Mavs and the Nets because what rhymes with dog shit? Dog shit. That's what this game is. Cooper Flagg's already been ruled out, and they got Daniel Gafford. Hey, Gafford, we gave Anthony Davis a lot of shit for not being able to stay healthy. Daniel Gafford has to be leading the league in Q tags. Like, even if he's healthy, he picks up a Q tag halfway through the game. I don't know what to do with Dallas. PJ Washington. Oh, let's do a PJ drop, bro. Let's see it, because it might be PJ Washington night. Let's do a PJ Washington drop.
PJ Washington. PJ Washington. PJ Washington.
What a banger. What a banger. Is Cooper hurting? Yeah, Cooper's not winning Rookie of the Year, by the way. It's over. If you had a Cooper Flagg Rookie of the Year bet, it's done. It's done. Because Dallas is going to be out here. Yeah, Juan Stockton knows it. It's like we're in maybe because Dallas is so close to what's happening in Mexico right now that the cartel tanks have rolled in. Am I allowed to make a joke about that, or is that insensitive? Either way, Narcos Season 7 is going to be Cooper Flagg on the bench. Yeah, he's done. He's not going to play a lot, and he's not going to play enough. It's going to Con Knippel is your Rookie of the Year. It's over. It's over. Dallas here. But anyways, PJ Washington has a shot to play some more minutes. I think that's it. I don't think we can do a lot here, which sucks because this is a good matchup to attack. Brooklyn's not playing a lot here. They're not playing a lot of defense. And, like, you could get to PG. The last game, he played 37 minutes. He put up 23 and 9 with a steal and a block. We saw the last game, Najee Marshall's minutes got cut a little bit. He only played 25. Max Christie played 30. We saw Gafford play 20. Bagley played 26. Middleton played 30. Brandon Williams played. Like, there's just too many guys. So it's PJ Washington or bust, I think, for me. I don't know. Regulator said you made a joke and got crickets. Maybe mine was just a little bit better. Unless it was the same joke. I don't know. Brooklyn, So Brooklyn's like kind of healthy. Do you think we get some late Q tags? I don't know. Right now, no. Everybody's available. So Michael Porter Jr. is draftable. I guess you could make a case for Claxton, who played 30 minutes in the last game in a pretty good matchup, but I don't know. I'm not doing it. I'm not touching it. Let's go to OKC and Toronto. If you were with us for Live Before Lock last night, it was before the injury report came out, and I said, hey, why is Toronto favored by 1.5? And because Chet Holmgren got a Q tag. Chet Holmgren Q tag came in. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think Chet is playing. Now, they've been generous with Q tags before. However, OKC is Toronto tonight on the road, and then they turn around and play Detroit tomorrow. And we know they don't have SGA, J-Dub, and AJ Mitchell for both games. I can see them wanting to make sure that they had Chet for this second game against Detroit. That would be my guess. I don't know. But that would be my lean. So I don't think we see Chet tonight. So can you make a case for Isaiah Hartenstein? Maybe. But I also think they won't play Isaiah Hartenstein a ton of minutes so that he can play the back-to-back. Caruso is also questionable tonight. He probably doesn't play. But I don't know what I love here. I don't know. Even without Chet, you would think that would open up some stuff. But I think they have just enough guys that I'm not into it. And maybe there's some Thunder I should be looking at here. Like Kaysen Wallace will play 33 minutes, and maybe, I don't know. Kaysen Wallace against Cleveland, 20 and 10. I missed that with 3 steals. Isaiah Joe's been starting. He's been playing 30 minutes. I don't know. Maybe we should be getting to some of these guys. Maybe some of you can talk me into it. Okay, Jake's saying he's going the Isaiah Joe route. Yeah, I mean, Isaiah Joe is starting. He's going to chuck, right? He should shoot some threes. The one thing I will say, against Toronto, I like getting to bigs, man. Especially because there's no Jakob Poeltl's already been ruled out. Maybe we could go to Jalen Williams with no Chet. I don't know. This might be a late day pivot that I make. Toronto's without Chucky Hepburn, Wisconsin legend, and Jakob Poeltl power. Colin Murray Boyles went to the bench in the last game. I think that's because they started Jakob Poeltl. I would guess Colin Murray Boyles goes back to the starting lineup, and then Sandro comes off the bench and plays backup 5. I don't know. Scotty Barnes, Emmanuel quickly in the 6th round, Brandon Ingram. I think that's it. Okay, now to the Peacock, Knicks and Cavs. Cavs are favored by 3.5. This line has shifted a point towards the Bing Bong Boys. It was 4.5 this morning when I opened up the thing. Cleveland, relatively healthy. They're only without the Strus is loose. No Max Strus. Spida, hard on, Jared Allen. One thing I wanted to point out. So Evan Mobley here, right? Now, I'm usually team let's not play Evan Mobley. His first game back was on February 19th against the Brooklyn Nets. He played 18 minutes in a blowout, 10 points and 9 boards. Did not play the next game against the Charlotte Hornets, which was a back-to-back. Then he played against the Thunder on Sunday, played 25 minutes. Right now, he's going in the 6th round. Now, he's like barely getting drafted. First of all, I don't think I'm going to draft Mobley a lot. But if you wanted to be a little unique, if you wanted to have some fun here, what if he played 30 minutes? We know Karl Anthony Towns and Mitch Rob both available, double bigs, maybe a little bit more Mobley. If you think he gets to 30 minutes and he's undrafted, that is a pretty fun click. So I don't know. Other than that, I think Spida goes nuts tonight. I really like Spida. I really like who's the other guy I really like? I really like Spida. I really like Harden. I think you can get to some Jared Allen late. If you think Mobs is still going to be limited, J.A. Get to some J.A. The Bing Bong side, they're also pretty healthy. They are just without Deuce McBride. Everybody else should be good to go. Karl Anthony Towns currently going ahead of Jalen Brunson. Pass. I'd have JB ahead of Cat. And then in the 6th round, Bridges isn't really getting drafted. We've seen Bridges like straight up get outplayed by Landry Shamet lately. Josh Hart and OG Anunoby going sometimes in the 6th round. I don't know. You could do it if you want to. They got enough bodies. I don't think I'm as interested. I think it's just going to be, honestly, I think I'll probably only have Jalen Brunson and Cat if he starts falling. But I don't really want the Karl Anthony Towns tonight. I don't love this matchup for him, especially with Mitch Rob back. The rebound usage goes down. I don't love it. Okay, Charlotte Hornets. This one's kind of fun because they're not on the front end or back end of a back-to-back, which means we should have full LaMelo minutes and a really good matchup against the Bulls. The Hornets, though, they do get some of their bros back. Kobe White, revenge spot, he's probable. Cockbrenner got dinged up in the last game, but he's probable. Moussa Diabate's off the suspension list, and so is Miles Bridges. So this kind of is a slight downgrade for Brandon Miller and Con Knipple, I think, with some minutes now coming back to Moussa Diabate, back to Miles Bridges, and even to Kobe White. However, LaMelo should get to 33 minutes in a really, really good spot. I like LaMelo a lot. He's expensive tonight, though, so it's hard to get to. But the three ball should be flying. And Con's three ball should still be there, too. That shouldn't go away. On the Bulls side of stuff, man, Chicago. So Chicago's without Simons, Asenge, Zach Collins, and Jaden Ivey. They also have Jalen Smith questionable. Even if Jalen Smith goes, he's only going to play 20 to 22 minutes. I was pretty impressed that Josh Giddey played the back-to-back the other night. Played 27 minutes in the game against the Pistons where he had 27 and 6. Then he only played 23 minutes against the Knicks on the back-to-back. I don't think the Bulls are on a back-to-back, right? Do they play tomorrow? They don't play tomorrow, so maybe we get 30 minutes out of out of Josh Giddey, which is like pretty fun. That's pretty fun if we get 30 minutes out of Josh Giddey. That's to me the only Bull we can get to tonight. That's the only Bull we can get to tonight. I think, right? Like I don't want Jalen Smith. Yeah, I don't want Rob Dillingham who played. Matas Bucelis, I guess. I guess you could do Matas, but you need the stocks. You need the stocks to get to him. Okay, Miami Heat against the Milwaukee Bucks. This is a game I'm not going to look at. Like, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not even going to check the scores of. I don't know what to do with it. Miami's, like, slowly getting healthy here, and when the Heat are healthy, it's hard to draft them, right? Davion Mitchell is questionable. He missed the last game. I think he's probably a go tonight. I don't know. They got Jovic is doubtful, which I guess is good for Jaime Jaquez, but you've got Bam, who, his minutes were nuts for a little while. They've come down a little bit. I think some of that was blowout related. He should be good for 32 minutes, but they've got Bam, Wiggins, Hero's back. He's playing like mid 24, 20, I'm assuming 24 to 25 minutes. Norman Powell should be good for 30. Khalil Ware's back. Like, I don't know. There's just too many guys. I don't really love it. The Bucks are pretty healthy too. They're without Giannis and Prince. To me, this is just Kevin Porter Jr. Actually, let's do the Porter Jr. drop so I can take a sip of water. Because we're the Porters. Boo! Where's the drop, bro? Here it is.
We're the Porters. We share the crowd of up and down performers. Throwing things in buzzer beater corners. And one of us is playing for the Warriors. We're juniors and we're the Porters.
Yeah, regulator, great take. No reason the Heat should lose this game, so probably Bucks by 3. Yeah. I think it's Kevin Porter Jr. and then Ryan Rollins in the 6th round. That's it. I'm not, like, Bobby Portis back to the bench. Doc is back coaching, which means it's like Jericho Sims is going to play 30 minutes. You can't get to Ousmane Dieng. Miles Turner sucks at basketball. That's it. I hate this game. And it's like a decent total, but I hate it. Warriors and the Pels. Warriors are favored by 1.5. We get a couple of weird things here. Golden State on the front end of a back-to-back. No Steph Curry. We already know that. No Kristaps Porzingis. Al Horford and DeAnthony Melton are questionable. If the Warriors were playing a better team tomorrow night, I would for sure think that Al and Melton are sitting. But I actually think this is their tougher of 2 games, so maybe Al and Melton go tonight. Maybe one of them goes. I don't know. Draymond Green is also questionable. This team sucks. I mean, Podziemski's pretty expensive today for who Brandon Podziemski is, but he's coming off some pretty big games recently. He's had, against Denver, played 36 and a half minutes, 18 points, 15 boards, and 9 dimes. Against the Celtics, he played 28 minutes, 11, 7, and 6. Like, the minutes are going to be there. The Pelicans suck at defense, but normally when we play the Pelicans, I want to attack them with some bigs, and they don't have any bigs. Like, I don't want to play Al Horford if he's available, right? We can't be drafting Al Horford in the year 2027 on 2026 on an 11-game slate. If Draymond plays, I don't want him. Guy Santos is going to play 27 minutes. Maybe you go with Guy, but are we really drafting Guy Santos? I don't know. On the Pelican side of stuff here, so they're without Yves Missy, Trey Murphy, and Micah Peavy, but we got the return of DeJounte Murray tonight, which basically probably sends Jordan Poole back to Siberia. Poole in the last game he's played 25 minutes in 2 consecutive games, right? Had 23 points in the last one against the 76ers. Fears played 25 minutes. Like, if you assume DeJounte Murray plays 20, right? 5 of those come from Poole. Maybe a few come from fears. They played DeAndre Jordan 30 minutes in the last game. Does that happen again? That's fucking chaos. That better not happen again. Bryce McGowan's played 25 minutes in the last game. He's going to lose some minutes. And that's probably how DeJounte gets to like 18 to 22. So, yeah, he did start the last. I don't think we can do DeAndre Jordan, though. You can't trust that. You can't trust that. I don't know. If he starts, maybe. I mean, he did have like 6 points and 15 boards. But for me, this is Zion. This is Sadiq Bey, and Derek Queen. Those are my three favorite plays there in New Orleans. I'm not getting to DeJounte yet. Celtics, 6.5 points against the Suns. Now, I think this might be the lean. This is what we got to figure out today. So I did a little schedule breakdown in Bagel with Locks this morning. I think this is going to be my take. And we've been burned before. I don't think Jaylen Brown's going to play basketball tonight. Celtics are favored by 6.5 on the road. So you're probably like, oh, JB's got to be in, right? So the Celtics are on the front end of a back-to-back. This is their third West Coast game of 4. They play tomorrow against the Denver Nuggets. The Phoenix Suns are without Devin Booker. They're without Jordan Goodwin. They're without Haywood Highsmith, and they're without Dylan Brooks. Grayson Allen also has a Q tag. I'm thinking Joe Mazzulla is like, hey, let's give JB the night off. Let's go attack them. Let's have JB healthy. The hardest back-to-backs in basketball are on the road when you either go to Denver or go to Utah, okay? Altitude, baby. Altitude. So I wonder if they're like, we can get this game without JB. And if they can, if they do try that, that means Peyton Pritchard, who has been just on fucking fire, and I think people might be like, oh my God, Peyton Pritchard's still not going to start even with JB not playing. He's going to come off the bench. He's going to play 38 minutes. Derek White, maybe we finally get a ceiling Derek White game. Maybe it's some more Vooch minutes. But I think I'm going to play it this morning at least like Jaylen Brown's not playing basketball. I just think they think they can get this win without him tonight and then be healthy for a more challenging game against Denver tomorrow night. And I mean, this would be a huge coup for the Celtics to go 4-0 on this West Coast trip. Now, I know like they played the Warriors without Steph. Then they get the Suns, who were dinged up, and then the Nuggets, who are also dinged up with no Aaron. Well, maybe Aaron Gordon returns tomorrow and no Peyton Watson. But that would be a huge coup to go 4-0 on this West Coast trip out of the break. And again, just trying to keep pace with the rest of the teams in that 2-3 seed. So I think I'm going to play it like JB is out. On the Phoenix side of stuff, Jalen Green played both games of that back-to-back. If people are just, it was against the Orlando Magic where he hit the game-winning 3. And then I think Portland the next night. I wonder if people look at the box score of Phoenix and like stay off of Jalen Green, off of Colin Gillespie. But I like those guys tonight. I think drafting Grayson Allen right now is fine with the Q tag in the 6th round, because if he plays, I think it's a good pick. And if he doesn't play, that's a great swap to have. But I do think with Phoenix being this limited with bodies, I mean, no Brooks, Allen, and Goodwin. That's a lot of like guard wing play taken out of rotation. And I think it just means like if Allen doesn't go, Jalen Green should play 33 minutes. I don't know. I kind of like it. 2 late games here. We got the Timberwolves and the Trailblazers. Minnesota still has Naz Reid with a Q tag. However, Rudy Gobert missed the last game for just swearing at him too much in French. Too many texts. He's back. They're going to need him against Kling Kong. I actually really like Rudy as a 6th round pick if you think Naz Reid misses. Anthony Edwards is going to have to deal with Toumani Camara tonight. Not that you can't draft Anthony Edwards because of Toumani Camara, but slight downgrade to him. Regular season Randall should be out there hooping. Portland got out in front of it. Already ruled out Denny. No Sharp tonight. One thing to point out, shout out NBA TST for calling this out yesterday, but Scoot Henderson played 29 minutes in his last game. So maybe the Scoot gets loose here. He plays 30. I don't know. Can we scoot with him? Drew Holiday been playing 30 minutes. Maybe Jeremy Grant gets a little bit more boost, but 237.5 point total. If Minnesota keeps this close, maybe it's just Kling Kong. Normally we like Klingin when Time Lord's not playing, right, when they're on the back-to-backs, but Kling Kong's going to have to be out there, especially if they have Rudy and Naz Reid. And then last game of the night, Orlando, 5.5 point dogs on the road against the Lakers, who were coming off that loss against the Beantown Boys. Suggs is questionable for like the 55th straight game. I don't know what we do with that. Desmond Bane, listen, we saw Peyton Pritchard absolutely cook. So I think you could do it. I think you could do Desmond Bain if there's no Suggs. If Suggs is back in, I don't really like it. Anthony Black, viable too late. On the Lakers, whatever. It's Luka, it's LeBron. I really like Austin Reeves tonight, actually, late. That's one of the take. We're gonna go to Underdog, build some ranks, but before he says, what does Defensive Player of the Year eligibility look like right now? I know Wemby can miss like 5 more games and still be available. I think it's probably if you think Wemby's going to miss more games, I think everybody's like penciling him in to miss more games. He's actually been pretty durable this season outside of that one stint where he missed some time, like the second month of the year. I think Wemby's fine. I think he's the leader in the clubhouse, and then Scotty Barnes. Those are the clear top 2 favorites for depends. And Rudy. Rudy's been awesome. That's going to be your top 3. That's your gold, silver, bronze, probably in that order. Scotty's been incredible, but I honestly could see them putting Rudy second. But I think it's just going to be hard to beat Wemby. Wemby's insane, man. You saw it last night. People just freak out when they get close to the rim. All right, let's build some ranks on Underdog for tonight, and then we'll do a draft. We'll do some Dawg Bowl hunting. You know what? Let's adjust the stuff since we're officially Dawg Bowl hunting. Let's do this. Let's do this, and then let's get the border. Let's get the border. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Let's dive in. Okay, I said this. I think you could F around and put Jalen Johnson as the 101. I'm not going to do it. We're going to go Luka, JJ. I'm going to put Maxey ahead of Ant, but then I'll go Ant, and then I'm going to go Spida. And then I kind of want to go Barnes over Paolo. I'm not going to do it, but we'll go Barnes over Paolo. And then I'm going to go LaMelo. I'm going to put LaMelo at 8 here. And then I'm going to follow that up with JB at 9. Even though I don't think he plays, I'm going to put him right there. And then Brunson, Cat, Harden, Embiid. We'll put Embiid at 13, but it scares me. I'm going to have Embiid at 13, but I'm honestly going to click Zion ahead of him a couple of times, especially if there's no Draymond Green tonight. Or maybe Al sits too. I mean, Zion should go nuts. You could put LeBron ahead of him too. Maybe I should be doing some LeBron ahead of Zion. Maybe we'll do that. KPJ here. I just want to say, maybe we should be playing KPJ. Let's do that. Let's do KPJ ahead of these guys for a little bit. The minutes there are good. 30 to 33. He's just the whole team. He's the whole team. You could make a case of Bam over Randall. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'll just go Randall, Bam. I'm going to go White, then MPJ, then Bane, then Pritchard, then Ingram. Maybe Pritchard over Ingram might be a little spicy, but we're going to do it. And then I want to go Klink Kong, Austin Reeves, Pajemski, Chet, Miller. We'll put Miller at 28. Now, this is where I don't know what we're going to do. Power Duster back to the DPOY saying, and Wemby's going to want to win Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Spurs have a real shot at the 1 seed like I was talking about earlier, so I don't think they mess around. Which is too bad because Scotty Barnes deserves some love. Let's get him on an all-NBA team this year. I think Scotty's been awesome this year. He really has. So this is where it gets weird, man. I do want a lot of Rudy. Like Khan again, but like slight downgrade with the Hornets getting all these bodies back. I mentioned I really like Jarris Walker, so I'll put him on the list. I don't want to fade Khan. I'll put Khan and Rollins on the list, but let's just find some guys, right? I mentioned Mobley. You could take Siakam if you want to just take the doubtful tag to get the swap. I think I want to get some Josh Giddey here. I want some Drew Holiday. Like, we look at Holiday's minutes, right around 30 this whole time, but we know no Denny in this spot. Sadiq Bey, coming off like a weird one against Philly, but I think Sadiq's fine. We mentioned PJ. I don't really want CJ in here. Jalen Green, Derek Queen, Anthony Black, all fine picks. I don't think I'm going to do the Hartenstein thing. You could do the Case and Wallace thing. You could do the Suggs thing. Find any other names down here. Oubre, Grayson Allen, I really like. I think Grayson Allen should be higher. Can you take me higher? Let's put Grayson Allen up there. Anybody else that I'm missing there? Anybody else that you want to be taking shots at? The Hornets are going to make an all-out effort to get Con. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to have to do much, right? How many games has Cooper Flagg played this year? That race is over. They don't have to do anything else for Con to get it. Cooper Flagg, how many games has he played? Cooper Flagg has played 49 games. I don't think he's getting to 65. Maybe they get him exactly to 65 so that he can finish top 3. Con Knipples played 57 games. Con's winning Rookie of the Year. Cooper's not getting it. That race is over. It's all over. All right, let's jump into one of these drafts, shall we? Let's go Dawg Bowl. Oh, my God. Let's do a hard refresh here. Hold on. Let's do a hard refresh. Just a reminder, if you haven't subscribed to Bagel with Locks yet, we got a new one today. Let's drop that into the chat. Yeah, but okay, so okay, then he's definitely not going to play 65 games. Dallas is focused on losing games now, right? Right now, if we look at the standings here, I'm not going to share it, but so the Mavericks have 20 wins, right? Mavericks have 20 wins. Jazz have 18, Pelicans 16. You've got Wizards 16, Nets 15, Pacers 15, and then Kings 13, right? So that basically puts them in the top 7. They're not they could even fall behind, and the Pelicans don't have their picks, so maybe the Pelicans catch them. They want to stay below the Grizzlies. Like they're going to sit flag as often as possible, I think. The Rookie of the Year's over. Con's winning Rookie of the Year. But yeah, go subscribe to Bagel with Locks if you haven't done it yet. Go check that out. Go check that out. Whew. Wow, these aren't filling as fast as they were this morning. We did 5 of these this morning. I'll go show you what we've done so far. We've done 5. We've had 2 Luka builds here. Let's start with the Luka builds. We had Luka, Harden, Zion with Pritchard, Ingram, and Drew. Then we had a Luka, Harden, Zion again with a Pritchard, Reeves, and Jalen Green. We had a Paolo and Scotty start with White, MPJ, Podgod, and Khan. Then we had a Mitchell Paolo start with Randall, White, Reeves, and Jarris. And then another Mitchell, Scotty start with Randall, White, Walker, and Allen. So a lot of Derek White to start. I think I'm just going to play it like that. Let's go. Sorry, JBB sent a funny message, was laughing. Yeah, Luka Donna. Let's see, did we get, oh my God, the 6 hole. What are we doing? Any names we recognize in here? Error using DTS Awen, FF links. All right. Just a reminder, too. No, I said I think JB's out. I think Jaylen Brown's out tonight. They're on the front end of the back-to-back. They get Denver tomorrow. So I'm playing like Jaylen Brown is out. I mentioned this earlier. We've got the Dawg Bowl qualifier tonight and then Thursday, and then that's it. And just a reminder, I said this on Live Before Lock, but next week there will be no NBA bit on Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. There is a chance on Monday I end up firing something up from the hotel in Los Angeles. We might get a West Coast NBA bit. Maybe we do it on Friday. I don't know. No, we definitely won't do it on Friday, but maybe Monday. Definitely not Tuesday as I'm flying back Tuesday morning, but if we win the Dawg Bowl, we'll definitely do something. We'll go live. But yeah, I'll be in Los Angeles Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. All right, so from the 6 hole, I kind of hate drafting from the 6 hole because just in case Jaylen Brown does play, it kind of sucks because I'm gonna be sharing him. I'm gonna be fading him, so it's a little scary. And maybe depending on how quickly this goes, we'll do a second one. We'll see. But I gotta host trivia tonight. I gotta go check the street, see if I gotta shovel a little bit. So I can't go too late today. And let's pray to the gods I don't have to shovel again because God, I'm just so cooked, man. I'm physically so cooked. I just don't have that dog in me. Also, if anybody, I think. Do you think anybody advanced more than 39 teams in best ball? I kind of think I might have advanced the most teams in best ball. I haven't seen anybody advance more. All right, can we take LaMelo over? I kind of want to get weird and go LaMelo Scotty. I'm not gonna. I just don't want to draft. I don't want to draft Paolo. I don't love it. I don't love drafting Paolo. Let's see if any of these ball knowers take LaMelo here. Yeah, there we go. FF Links. FF Links is already qualified too. Ball knower right there. Yeah, dude. Jake sent me some photos this morning. I feel bad. Even my dad was telling me. You know how we know we're in a snowpocalypse right now? Dunkin' Donuts are closed in southeastern Massachusetts. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are crying coffee tears right now. Can you believe that? I was talking to my dad this morning, too. He was saying that couldn't believe his dunks are closed. Down bad. Down bad in southeastern Massachusetts. I hope you guys, I know my sister's without power too right now, probably for a couple days. Although she lives in this part, like it's kind of on the water, that if the wind blows a little bit, I think they lose power. Yeah, I think that's gonna. I'm figuring this out in real time here. I think I'm gonna start taking LaMelo 7. I think let's have a take, man. My only concern here is that Kobe White comes back and they're like Kobe White revenge against the Bulls. But there's no way they play him like 30 minutes, right? And they're on an island game. We always like LaMelo more when they're not on a front end or back end of the back-to-back. Like what was LaMelo's minutes in that game against the Wizards? Although probably not that much because they were up by 1 million. 27. But that so if that wasn't a blowout, he probably would have played 33. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do here. Wow, LeBron falling. So they went Embiid at 12, KPJ at 13, Harden at 14. Interesting. I would love for LeBron or Zion to get back to this turn. I don't think that'll happen, but that would be cool as hell. That would be cool as hell. Oh man, I had too much coffee this morning. I can feel it. It is just flowing through me right now. I'm ready to just go run a marathon. I'm not going to. All right, LeBron goes here. MPJ. Oh, give me Zion, FF Links. Give me Zion, you coward. You don't want that fatty. Give me Zion at the turn. Give me Zion at the turn. Go take Bam out of bio. Bam over Zion, FF Links. Do it. Do it. Znez is in the chat. Dude, I want it to be Alondas Williams Day, man. Do you think the slate's too deep? Like, I think maybe that's a swap option because Alondas is, oh man, the 51 fantasy points against the Pacers is pretty spicy. Oh, all right, this is boring. Let's just do Randall and Bam. Nez, what are your thoughts on LaMelo at pick 7? I need somebody to talk me off of this. I think I might just fade Paolo today. I do want to get into 6th round Scoot Henderson. I know I talked about him this morning in Bagel with Locks. He hasn't looked awesome, like 11, 6, and 4, but 29 minutes. We definitely don't know Denny. They're not. Are they on a back-to-back front end? Who plays tomorrow? Let's look at the teams that are playing tomorrow here. We'll do a second one of these. We'll do 2 of these. All right, so tomorrow we've got the Thunder are playing the Pistons. Thunder are on a back-to-back tomorrow. Raptors get the Spurs. They'll be on a back-to-back tomorrow. Warriors get the Grizzlies, so they'll be on a back-to-back. Kings and Rockets they played last time. Cavs will be on a back-to-back against the Milwaukee Bucks, and then Celtics on a back-to-back against the Nuggets. Can we do Scoot? Asking a guy that can't get a seat to save his life. Nez is getting a seat tonight, man. Nez is getting a seat tonight. He's been dialed. He was all over Javon Small last night as a swap. I was sitting there looking at it. I couldn't do it. I mean, I went Nick Clifford, so it wasn't the end of the world, but that was really sharp. Nez has been dialed, man. He's gonna get a seat. I hope he does. I'm rooting for Nez. Eggers, I'm rooting for you too, bro. I'm rooting for Eggers. You know who I'm not rooting for? Gumby. He's already got a seat. Actually, I am rooting for Gumby because you know how much people would tilt if Gumby got a second seat? That would be great. I'm telling you right now, Pritchard's cooking regardless. The only thing that scares me of that Celtics game, that total is dog shit. What's it, like 209 or something like that? Let me double check that. Let's double check the math. It is 206. God, it went down. Yeah, I'm telling you. Oh, Celtics 7.5 now, though. Okay. Who do you like? DJP, you son of a bitch. I'm going to make you scrub. Go watch the rest of the shit. No, I'll tell you. Hold on one second. I think I'm just going to be a believer in the Rudy shit. Let's just do it. Let's just do the Rudy thing. I'm going to jump in one more. We'll go a little over an hour today. We'll jump in one more. Okay, so the OKC thing is stuff. Like, I don't think Chet Holmgren is going to play. So naturally, you're like, Isaiah Hartenstein should get a boost. but I wonder if they limit Hartenstein tonight as well. We're drafted from the 6 hole again. Come on. Come on. Give me something new. I'm nervous that they only play Hartenstein like 24 minutes and that they have him available because, again, they have the Pistons on the back end of the back-to-back on national television. So initially I was like, maybe we play Hartenstein. Maybe they play him 32 minutes and we can just cook. But I wonder if they limit him to 25 so we can play the second game. Caruso's questionable too. If he sits, I think Isaiah Joe's fun. Cason Wallace has been hooping. But I usually like to attack Toronto through the big position. Because no Jakob Poeltl, you know? They're going to be small. But I don't know. Okay, it's really tough. If you think Hartenstein's limited, maybe Jay Will gets a little bit more run. I don't know. I don't know what to do with OKC, man. This is a tough slate. I'm telling you right now, this is my 7th draft, I think, or 8th maybe. I'm limiting myself to 25 to 35. The Moose is loose. Yeah, so Jake, I was looking at that. The problem with the Moose here, although I would bet the Moose rebounds, the problem is Miles Bridges is back, so is Big Cock Brenna. Although maybe you could still do it. Should we get into some diabetes tonight? Get some Moosey diabetes. I wonder what's his rebound prop. Take his alt rebounds for like 14.5. Especially if Jalen Smith doesn't go, man. It's going to be Moose again. Like, look at this Bulls team, dude. They're going to have Matas Bucelis, Yabusele, by the way, played 30 minutes in the last game. That was on the back-to-back. Yabusele! All right, so Jaylen Brown goes. Holy shit. Who else went? We get Spite. I guess Spite's ADP is 6. You fools. I'm going to do it. No, we're going to go Scotty. All right, I would if Donovan Mitchell wasn't there, I would have taken LaMelo Ball with Scotty. I kind of like with no Pearl, maybe we get a little small ball 5 Scotty against a Thunder team that doesn't have a lot of great big options, especially with no Chet. I'm talking myself into 60 Scotty fantasy points tonight, okay? 60 Scotty fantasy points. Lock and load. Spida, I think I mentioned this at the top of the show for that Splash. I still can't believe it. 4,000 entrants in that Splash Sports Survivor contest, 20 points a night. You got to pick a different guy every night to score 20. 4,000 entrants. Started on Saturday night. It is down to 600 already. It is down to 600. Shout out Cade, Şengün, and KD for all sucking last night. But I think I'm taking Donovan Mitchell. How sick would it be to win 100K? Let's win the Splash. This is what we're gonna do. In 1 month's time, we're gonna ship that. We're gonna ship the best ball contest, the double dribble, and we're gonna ship the Dawg Bowl. 400K, and then I tell you what, bagel with locks. Well, I was just gonna say that's going behind the paywall. That's the opposite thing I should do if I win all that money. Yeah, I agree with you, man. 5th on, I think it's good to get some weird combos. I want to pull LaMelo up. I'm talking myself into the LaMelo stuff. Like, JJ LaMelo start is fire. I think... I want to talk myself into Jalen Johnson as the 101 tonight. Keep in mind the Raps are like 1-13 against the top 10 in the league with Scotty often dropping. Ingram also usually affected by defensive physicality. Yeah, I'm going to be light on BI tonight. But OKC, like, I know they're a top team. I know they are, and I know they're deep. But this is a very different team without Chet. Again, I'm assuming Chet's out. If Chet's in, throw all this shit out the window. But assuming Chet's out, it's a different Thunder team. It's a gettable Thunder team. And I just think they're going to play. I think they're going to try to show out for that nationally televised game. There's no way Embiid plays tonight, right? Embiid playing, it would be the most Embiid thing ever. They're like, oh, the Pacers super shorthanded. Fired up. Okay, all right, Zion. Look, Nez is a ball knower here. Zion, KPJ. I need to start getting some more KPJ at the turn. Also, it must be nice. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna be a sour puss. I want Nas to. I want Nas Reed. I want Nez to get there. All right. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that power duster. Let's God, this spot sucks. We'll just go Bam. Fuck Bam. Let's go MPJ and White. I'm just gonna believe we're getting 50 fantasy points from Derek White, and then they'll rule in Jaylen Brown, and I'll be dead. But I just don't think JB's playing, man. I'm playing him out. I'm playing him out all day. Embiid, PRA, like, it's 39.5. Yeah, it does feel like a free lower. Man, if Embiid plays, I'm going to be so upset. I know, but he's missed the last handful of games, right? And they can win this game. They can absolutely win this game without him, you know? So why rush him? Just go get this W. Also, give me Drummond rebounds. Drummond rebounds, Moose rebounds. Drummond boards, Moose boards. Derek White threes. Also, Mark Williams rebounds. I can see Mark Williams doing some damage tonight. Also, maybe with no JB, Vooch gets to 30 minutes. That would be fun. Probably not. Probably not. We've seen them go double. But imagine if they started Nemi next to Vooch, just like really fucked around. All right, let's see what Nez does here at the turn. Pritchard at 21. Ball nowhere, Matty. Although I do think, listen, if you think Suggs is out, we saw Pritchard go absolutely nuts against the Lakers. And I don't want to like read into Desmond Bane, but can we just, let's like box score watch here for a second. Desmond Bane here, 36 points. Night before, 34 points, right? He's put up 45, 33, 50, 48 fantasy points. Lakers perimeter defense sucks, man. It sucks. All right, Nez goes BI. Pod God. All right, Nez is a Pod God believer. I am so nervous about that shit, man. Also, speaking of, I think I'm going to the Austin Reeves well quite a bit. I know a little disappointing there in his 32 minutes, 15 and 7 against the Celtics. I'm not the Orlando perimeter defense. I'm not really scared of. And I actually think there's a discount on Austin Reeves. So I'm going to be trying to get to some Reeves, Kling Kong, Walker, Rudy. I would love to get 2 of these 4 here. Won't happen, but would love to. Also, Nez, you're the Rollins whisperer. Are you going back there? God, my heat just turned on in my apartment, and it sounds like a cat's dying in the radiator. Shout out New York. Oh, we almost got Reeves. We'll go Walker, Rudy. Call it a day. I'm going to be a Jarris Walker believer tonight. Because if Embiid is out, man, Embiid is out. We're playing it that way. No Siakam. Jarris Walker should just ball out. Okay, thank you. That's what I wanted. And I know we pointed out some scrolls here. I do want to take a longer look at these two guys, man. Because listen, Mobley sucks. I get it. But if he's like barely getting drafted and all of a sudden that 25 minutes turns to 29, 30 minutes, I think that's viable. Josh Giddey, I mentioned, right? Played the back-to-back. I think he's going to be close to 30 minutes tonight. I feel like Josh Giddey should be getting drafted a little bit more. What does Nez do here? I don't know. I got to get to some Giddey. Up here. He takes, Nick Claxton. Respect. All right, dudes. Let's call it there. Appreciate everybody hanging out. If you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, like the video, do all that shit. Subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe to Bagel with Lock. Subscribe. Good luck out there. Go get your Dawg Bowl. Go get your Dawg Bowl seat. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, for the NBA Bit. Appreciate you guys for hanging out. Stay warm. Stay inside. Don't mess with the snow. See you in LA. We're out.